It's casual, not formal. It's hosted by Rory Pendlin. Oh, and Renee in tow. It's time to start the show. 1, 2, 3, go!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to show number 97 of the latest incarnation of It's Casual, my poor man's talk show where I try to get interesting people on the show and we talk to them about entertainment and performance and such. We've had a lot of good people come on the show, and I'm really stoked about today's show because we have two really good guests that I've been trying to get on the show. I've been wanting to get on the show for a while. And that's John Michael Urbano, an actor from Texas, and Robin Henkel from San Diego, who is a jazz blues man, plays a real mean guitar. So let's go ahead and bring up Robin Henkel.
Hey.
And we're waiting for John. Oh, there's John Michael. Okay, he was having some Wi-Fi issues there. So now here he is, where we got both you guys on camera. This is a nice balance because we've got acting and musician. You know, we got actor, musician. So I like to ask you guys the same questions, but from kind of a different perspective.
Okay.
John Michael is the actor.
Yeah.
Well, first off, let's get the locations that you guys are in out of the way. Okay, there's the stereotypes about Texas. Let's get them all out of the way so I don't make hack jokes about it.
Okay.
You know, it's the dry heat. You know, everything's big in Texas. What else can you think of? Presidents don't go to Dallas. Okay, so there it is. And San Diego, Comic-Con. So now, okay, Kyle, we got all that out of the way.
Okay.
How long have you guys been doing what you've been doing?
Well, I've been performing professionally since 1973.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was like, 24 years old or so, 22 years old. And, even before that, I was playing because, I was in a little kids band, the parents used to chaperone us and take us to gigs and stuff like that. And I remember that was, we had like a soul band where we did like James Brown and the Temptations, and we even sometimes we did steps, bump, go, throw the guitar neck up in the air and stuff all together. And at that same time, around 1967, that's when the hippie bands were starting to come out, like Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, and there's this whole new wave of music, kind of like changing the whole, what would you call it? The format of like, of music. And it's like, whoa, this great flowering. And I wanted to do some of that music. Some of the conservatives call it psychedelic music, and the hippies call it that too, right? And I remember there was this one dad. He was the dad of the guitar player, and he says, "My boy ain't playing none of that psychedelic music." I wish I had that on tape, man. That was a classic statement, because the parents would sit in the like in the kitchen, the kids would be out in the garage practicing music, and the parents would be in the kitchen eating coffee cake and drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes and just socialize. It was like a coffee social in the evening.
Wow, you just brought back some great memories that I had.
Oh yeah,
over to my grandpa and grandma's house in the 70s, like you said, and they would make pound cake in a skillet. And that was a really fond memory. We'd go to my grandma's, we'd have pound cake.
Oh
which was wonderful. It was either like lemon or vanilla pound cake. Always when we go to my grandpa and grandma's house.
Yeah. That sounds good. I wish I had a piece of that right now.
How about you, John Michael? As far as visiting family, you got impressive backgrounds going on there now.
Thank you.
Got the green screen
Well,
up.
she's a brick. Okay, yeah, there we go. Here I am.
All right.
What part of Texas are you from?
Yeah.
I'm in the crossroads right here in the close by the Gulf. So
Okay.
the crossroads area is literally 2 hours from Houston, 2 hours from Austin, 2 hours from San Antonio, and an hour and 45 from Corpus. So we're right smack in the middle of everything, and not too far from the coast.
There
Okay.
you go.
And let's
Close to
see,
Galveston?
about Galveston is a little over 2 hours. It's not bad.
2 hours to everywhere.
It's pretty much 2 hours for everything. So sorry. Turn that off.
So the
yes,
the first
2 hours
question
for
was,
everything.
how long have you been doing what you've been doing?
Oh, well, I guess as soon as I got out of high school is when I started doing theater, and it was anytime I was what I thought my dad would thought that I was doing something silly was normally because I was trying to meet a girl, and then that's how I got
into
into choir. That's how I got into choir, and the next thing you know, this girl who was doing theater asked me to be just all she said was, all you have to do is just lift me up and just barely do any dance moves. And I was like, well, I think I could do that. And the rest is history. I was told.
So when did the bug actually catch you? And what was it that made it?
I would say it was the first show I did was Hello Dolly. I was in the chorus, and in Hello Dolly, there's a moment where they're in the restaurant and all hell breaks loose when one of the waiters drops a tray full of food and rolls down. That's my son. He rolls down these stairs. So the theater built this half spiral staircase, and they asked for volunteers to do the stunt, and I did it. So, and after that stunt, I was totally sold. Yes, I am. my wife is here.
You got a huge laugh when you did the stunt, right?
Yeah, yes. And so I was sold. I loved it so much, and the gasp from the audience, I was just like, well, what can I do tomorrow? And so as the show went on, I think I went from just kind of collapsing on the stairs to doing a full-on dive head first and a roll down the stairs with the fruit. So after that, the next thing I
Chevy
did
Chase.
yeah, it was kind of like that. I love the comedy. I didn't hurt myself. And the next show I did, they gave me a lead role in Guys and Dolls, and yes, I was hooked.
Which one did you play?
I
Nathan?
played Sky.
Scott. Okay, all right.
So.
Well, rolling down a spiral staircase sounds pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well, on the stairs, the way they did it is they put some ceiling tiles on the stairs, and that was cushion enough
to cushion your fall.
Oh, yeah, man. That was cushion enough.
Would you do that again?
No, I would say I would have to get myself into a lot better shape. Right now, I'm in Santa Claus shape.
Okay, right.
Yes, you can tell. Yes.
Wow. Look at this.
I do lots and lots of fundraisers, and I love being part of anything that has meaning and that anything that can help anybody else. I can probably honestly say I'll probably never be rich because I'll probably give it all away.
But actors do it because they love it.
Yes, I do it because I absolutely love it. Well, that was a fundraiser that they had in one of the areas here, and I was playing Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah, you played the Congo.
And I had and I sang Babalu, you know.
Did you really?
It's ridiculous. It was fantastic. It was really great. Oh yes.
I gave Renee some pictures of you in costume and some of your characters. That's obviously the samurai from Saturday Night Live.
We were messing around with some Samurai Taylor and another evening with Samurai Taylor. Yes, it was fantastic. I got oh wow. That's me playing Drosselmeyer. I'm a ballerina. Also, yes.
You don't see many ballerinas with an eye patch.
No. Well, I
I
played.
think that's the
This is
first for me.
Drosselmeyer in the Nutcracker, the magical uncle that brings all
Okay.
the magic. And so I studied a little magic and did a little sleight of hand, and I kind of did the uncle's totally insane kind of. Really funny. I mean, I got laughs during the performance, which was.
There you go.
I know, I'm theater, I'm comedy, and then when they asked me to do it, I was like, well, I guess this is on my take on it, and I really didn't realize that it's pretty important to everybody kind of be the same, like mirror image, as they did it the year before, or so on and so forth, but not me. I mean, I really never watched it too many times, the previous performances. And so, of course, my dance was the same, but the person itself, the magic of Drosselmeyer, had changed significantly, and so it was a little bit comedic, I thought. Oh,
That's you with Rachel Dratch
it's me and Rachel Dratch. Yes.
from Saturday Night Live.
My amazing wife Amanda is just the absolute best event planner, and so we no, and so we got to spend some time in New York, and in that small amount of time, we got to watch lots of shows and go see every little part of it. And I actually saw everybody going crazy for one of the kids that came out on the show, Stranger Things. He was doing a show there on
Yeah.
Broadway, and there was a huge crowd of people going crazy across the street. And for one moment, I was like, wait, I think maybe I'll go get a picture for my kids of this famous young fella. And as I was about to cross the street, I had second thoughts, and I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing going to take a picture of this young fella? And then out of the corner of my eye, I see Rachel Dratch, and she was doing she's doing a show on Broadway,
Uh-huh.
a very a political type of show, all like most female cast, absolutely fantastic. Pontus, I think, what was it called?
Hmm.
And they were she was coming out of her show, and so I got to just kind of just turn around, and I was automatically quiet. Says, "Hi, I'm a huge fan," and we kind of walked a little bit and talked, and she I kind of told her, she asked me some questions about myself, and it was really really cool. She gave me
That's awesome.
we got a nice photo, and I walked her safely to her car so nobody would bother her, I guess, like I did.
Ah,
She was
what
like,
a gentleman.
it was nice.
Um,
Oh, this is the wedding singer, and I got to play the flamboyant young gentleman in the show. I got to play the trumpet and sing in Hebrew. That's over there on the right. That's Henry Emiliano, and that's oh my God, they're gonna kill me. That's Chuck. That's Chuck's son. He's gonna kill me. Okay, but the cast was fantastic. They were just
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
Robin, who were some of your influences when you first started doing music? I mean, it wasn't the psychedelic guys.
Yeah, no. It was before that. I was a little kid listening to folk music, and I used to hear Pete Seeger and the Limelighters and the Kingston Trio, but then
Love Kingston Trio.
my parents would take me to coffee houses in the late 1950s, early 60s,
Uh-huh.
and I never knew there was a style of music called blues. But when they played a blues song, I always liked that. What specifically got me was like when the performer would take a string and bend it and bend the pitch up like that.
Yeah.
Like you hear that all through blues and rock now. But I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then my parents took me to see Josh White, which knocked my socks off.
Right.
I saw him in Seattle in about 1962 or 3. And actually back then you could go backstage and get their autograph. And, here's here's this big black guy with a towel around him, drenched in sweat. He had his shirt off. Here's this little kid, grew up in a white neighborhood, hardly ever seen a black guy up close before. And it's like, I was like in awe. This guy was like, you know, the king. He was
Right.
like Paul Bunyan or something, you know. And I was autograph, and I still have that to this day. It's
Oh,
framed
wow.
at my home. Yeah, from 1962. And
Wow.
then, you know, so I listened to all his you know, back in the old, you know, I'm sure you remember, I think we're old enough here to remember the old record turntable where you
The
could
vinyl. Yeah.
3 records on the turnstile, and
Yeah.
like when one finished, the next one would drop down.
Mhm.
So I listened to about 4 records, and then the very last one, the arm would come up and play that record again. So I'd hear the last record about 4 times until I tear my hair out. I can't stand it. I don't want to. And then I'd flip the whole thing over and do the same thing. So I got to know those songs pretty well by ear, so that by the time my skills on the guitar improved, I could kind of figure out all of those songs on my own. And it just kind of came to me. And then by the time I was a teenager and I was hearing rock music for the first time and hearing pop music, in a way, I thought it was cool, but I didn't really fit into some of the bands because my style came from listening to Josh White, and
Right.
the newer pop sound was something completely different, you know.
So it just wasn't your thing. You were
Yeah.
used to, yeah.
And
you
I
used to-
still
yeah.
did it because I thought it was cool. You know, we played like Led Zeppelin and, you know, and went on to like playing fusion and some jazz, and over the years played country and just like, you know, blues bands, and kind of circled back to the blues about the middle 1980s. And part of it was the experience of playing in bands for many, many years and realizing when you're in a band, you're dependent on the responsibility of 5 other people.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I wanted to, you know, divorce myself of being dependent on people who are less than dependable. And so I'd still play with bands. In
Right.
fact, now I have my own band, so nobody, you know what I mean? It's not like
That's where I'm at right now.
yeah, I
Is
don't
that, to
really.
be honest, I stopped holding my breath, waiting for someone who knew how to play the guitar to play along with me, so I could just go off and just express myself.
Because you're
talent-wise.
musical as
So
well. Yeah. You play guitar. I've seen you
I
on
had
Facebook.
to teach myself the guitar so I could have something to play along with.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just kind of like just singing karaoke, you know.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, picking up the guitar was a great decision for me to do.
When
And-
did you
and-
pick up the guitar?
Like right at the beginning of the pandemic, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just recently.
So I just I haven't put it down since, and I incorporated it into my shows, and so basically a lot of the shows are the majority of it is requests. So so you could go from like an all blues show and into playing whatever they're wanting to hear. So that in itself, when having to learn something right there on the spot, has been the greatest teacher for me. Putting yourself on the spot. That you see my little boy in the background.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
We're at the theater right now. My wife and myself were big volunteers here for Theater Victoria, theatervictoria.org here in Victoria, Texas. And right now there's a couple of programs, but I'm very interested in hearing Robin about some of the other influences you may have had. For example, like I grew up listening to Bobby Blue Bland
Okay, yeah.
and a lot of stuff similar to that is a lot of stuff that my father used to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was that, what did they call this, like the Screaming Blues or something like that? How Bobby Bland would be like, "Wah!" and
Yeah.
with his blues. But yes, yeah, I'm still being woken up to a lot of the amazing talent from that I still have yet to discover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you and I are both actors, character actors in particular, and I know that my influences growing up were Peter Sellers, and Jonathan
Oh, yeah.
Winters.
Oh wow.
So I wanted to ask you that question as well. Who were some of your influences in as far as acting goes?
I would say probably the first one was Burt Reynolds.
Oh really?
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Yes, because he was just real cool and real silly.
Uh-huh.
He was real cool, real silly, and he could be as serious kind of when he wanted to also. But again, that's just those were probably movies I shouldn't have watched, but I snuck over Dad and Mom's shoulder while they were watching like Cannonball Run and those movies back in the day. And
God, I love Cannonball Run.
Smoking the
terrible,
Bandit.
but I love it.
Yeah.
So
I love
I
Roger
was going
Moore
to
in
ask
that
what were some
especially.
of the first Burt Reynolds movies that you saw, or what were the ones?
Oh, the original were the westerns. So I would think like the biggest ones were like the men in westerns, like the Virginian for sure.
Mm.
And of course, when you see like the Virginian and Wagon Train, and that's like early Clint Eastwood, when Clint
Rawhide.
Eastwood wasn't the main guy. Yeah, right. It was the other fellers that were kind of those guys were a big influence on me as far as getting into it. But then it was
Gunsmoke was the big one. That was the one that led the pack.
right, and then to me it was all that was just wanting to get in front of people and kind of be cool. But the biggest thing, like what was Peter Sellers, Pink Panther, and oh my God, Red Skelton.
Oh, Red Skelton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Red Skelton.
Okay.
There you
And Marcel Marceau. Those were like the first where they didn't have to say much, and they could just like pretend they're sewing a button and just get me totally enthralled and hooked, and that's kind of what I like to being when doing stuff like that, being silly and making people just laugh and happy all the time.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a wonderful feeling is when you make an audience laugh. There's no doubt. Robin, I was hoping if you got your guitar with you there, you could play a song or two for us.
Yeah, sure. I could do that. Easy
all right.
enough.
Because he's amazing. He's got thousands of followers on TikTok.
Sometimes I'm walking down the road. I get all messed up. I forget where I'm going. This ain't nothing like anything that I'd ever known. When I see her, my trash starts overflowing. How she's slippery. Like a watermelon seed. She's so nothing slippery. Got everything I need. Creeping into my dreams when I'm sleeping in the night. This little girl has got me wrapped up real tight. I don't know her name or who she is. She's got me all messed up like nobody's beeswax. Ow, she's slippery. Like a watermelon seed. She's so nice. She got everything and everything I need. Come here, guitar. Agitated with this little miss. kiss. That's when my love began to hiss. I don't know her name or who she is. She's got me all messed up. She's got me all messed up. She's slippery, like a watermelon seed. She sure enough is slippery. She got everything I need. Hey!
Oh man, awesome. Awesome.
The name of that song is Slippery.
Nice show.
In case you was wondering.
So now, do you guys stay pretty close to home, or do you actually go out on the road and do gigs? Or
I stick around pretty close to home.
Yeah.
I mean, I've traveled to about as far east as I've gone has been Austin, and I've gone as far as north as I've gone is Seattle, and hitting places in between. And actually, I did go to England one time and didn't hit any place in between. but yeah. So I pretty much stick around.
well, tell us about that. What brought you to England?
Actually, there was a friend of mine named Rick Lee, who's a drummer in a band called the Bayou Brothers, which plays Louisiana music like Zydeco music.
Okay, yeah.
They played in England, and they met a woman over there named Mama Tokas, and they became good friends. She lives in a little medieval town in southern England, in Devon, called very close to Plymouth, and she kind of helped. She got Rick and I went back and played over there, and just as the two of us. He played drums and I played guitar, and just that was it. And she sang on a few songs also, and so we did about. It was short. It was like a 10-day tour, and it was all pretty much in the locale of Plymouth.
She had like a pub, or was it
No,
like a
well,
theater?
her ex-husband owned a bar in downtown Plymouth. It's an area called the Barbican, and that's the area that was not bombed by the Germans in World War II. That's a really old area of the city that probably goes back to the 1500s.
Okay.
And so the rest of Plymouth is new housing and stuff like that since World War II. But
Roy,
it's an historic area.
they still have the pentagram on the wall close to the dartboard.
They might. There was one place we went
American jazz man in London.
There's one place we went into in Cornwall that the ceiling was so low you could reach up and touch it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a tall person at all. I'm like 5'6", And
they all used to be kind of hobbitish, but now they're all giant fellas.
Welcome to the Hunched Pub.
So anyway, we played there about 10 years. Played a little blues festival. We have a blues and jazz. So we timed it so we could go there, play that.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Different gigs. And we didn't really have a lot of time to chum around, but there's still plenty of time, because just walking on the streets and stuff. I mean, some of the streets you could still drive a car down them, but I don't know if you'd want to,
On the wrong side.
But
Don't go out on the moors.
Yeah. But that was a really that was really enriching experience.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So have you ever done any touring, John Michael, with summer stock or anything, or you just pretty much stay local theater?
The only thing really I've traveled and done really is my son Elias.
Hey, Elias.
Hey, Elias.
We see you.
What's up, Doc?
What are you doing, buddy?
Diamond sword.
Ooh.
New toys. Okay.
Oh, it's got a dinosaur there, huh?
Okay, so let's see. Okay. The mostly when I was younger, we did on tour with a theater group from my college, and
Mhm.
I was fortunate enough to bring back two Irene Ryans when we were in out and about with performance and stuff. As far as touring companies, no, but with the
Now, Irene
band
Ryan was Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies,
from the
right?
Beverly Hillbillies,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
But she was also a big. She was
supporter of the
really into
arts, yeah,
theater. Yeah,
yes, yes.
donate
So,
a lot of big money to different theaters and things.
oh yeah, so there's some big festivals that are competitions that are held in her honor, and
Gee, you get out of my kitchen, you.
I love it,
Sorry, had to do it.
and she was fantastic. But yes, that was great, and that was a long time ago. Let's see. Um, some of the small towns around this area are some great shooting spots. So, like El Campo, we did a movie years back, Horseplay, with directed by Mario Falcone,
Okay.
and Yerba Buena Productions. Those guys were fantastic. Those are the people that did the Selena film and
Okay.
Courage Under Fire, also.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mostly it's um, let's see. We did the Salem series, the Salem Witch about witchcraft, and we did that one in Shreveport, right outside Shreveport.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it was a big old ranch or something. And as you drove in, it looked like a regular ranch, but the further you went in, when you parked in your little gravel spot and walked about half a mile in, and it was Salem, Massachusetts.
They had it
It was,
Salemed up.
yes, including the cemetery and all the way down to the little bitty lake outside of town. It's fantastic what the movie magic has nowadays and what
Yeah.
they do. You know, we walked from one big trailer to another one, and
Yeah.
layer by layer, we got more dressed up and dirtier, and now we were town folks. You know, so it was a lot of fun. Now let's see. We shot in for what is it? The Revolution series that we
Uh-huh.
shot in Austin, and I was on several episodes of that just as an extra.
Now, why didn't you send me pictures of this stuff?
Well, you know, right now I want to give a shout out to my brother Danny, who's unfortunately suffering from stage 4 cancer, and he's
Oh,
fighting
no.
fighting for his life. And he is one tough cookie. He's fighting very hard. He, very handsome guy, not an actor, not into theater or anything like that. But I would bring him along, and he would just get all this camera time.
Ah,
In fact,
did they hire him
he
as an
was
extra? Or
yes.
oh, funny.
So we can, hey, we're gonna go out and be extras. We got this gig we're gonna go do. It's gonna be fun. You want to come along with us? We can set it up. You can go with us. I guess so. Okay, well, sure. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? You guys, y'all go over there. And I think they paired me with. I think one time they paired me with during that series. I was paired with this 65-year-old lady that's supposedly supposed to be my mom or my wife, and my brother got a horse and was riding with the Texas Mounties, and anyway, it was just the funniest but most.
I'm not bringing you
unfair.
next time.
Oh, and then the next time we were, it was the Dusk Till Dawn series. I unfortunately couldn't go, and so I sent my brother in my place, and he got so much screen time
Oh, funny.
that he was burned in the first episode. But yes, you see him like 15 different times all over the place until the vampires start killing everybody. But yes, it's absolutely. To me, it's fun, but um, a lot of the acting has just been like local theater. You know,
Yeah.
local theater. I've gotten to work with some amazing people in our little bitty theater, and one of the pictures I sent was the poster for the Full Monty. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't forward
So
that to Renee. I'm sorry.
we did the Full Monty here.
It didn't
and
really
all that-
show you per se.
Well,
It was kind
Our
of
theater-
silhouetted.
well, no, I'm going to say this, that we had a Tony Award winning director, choreographer come down, and he's on the poster. by the name of Chet Walker. That was Fosse's protege. And so he came down and is just this super famous guy and was everything that you thought a New York fellow would be, just glam and glitz and pizzazz. And we got to work with him. It was fantastic, along with um, his better half too. That was another famous choreographer. I put together a little dance for them, and he laughed so hard that he kept it in the show, and so he gave me billing along with him that I did some choreography, which was great.
Awesome.
Never forget that. But yeah, so our little theater here, Theater Victoria, has just been a blessing for not only me but lots and lots of people, and us having the ability to work with some amazing professionals. And then right next door is the Ballet Theater of South Texas, and those girls come over here and they help us out also. They do their ballets here in our little theater. Michael Tier is our director, and him along with Amanda Rocha Urbano, my wife, and lots of other people like the Shorts, the Lockers, Lori, and lots of other people that just bleed sweat and tears this theater. And I'm sure it's like this in thousands of and hundreds of thousands of places around the world, where it's not about the fame, but it's our little bitty a little bit of theater, our little magical area, and it's just everything to us.
Community theater is wonderful. Again, it brings a lot of people together from the community, and again, you find talent that you didn't know was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always a very nice, warm family kind of feeling. When you're doing an ensemble piece on stage. I was going to ask both of you: do you hang out when you're not performing with like other actors, other musicians, or are you kind of homebodies? Just kind of stay home and not get out that much when you're not performing.
Robin.
Oh, okay. It kind of both.
Okay.
When I go out and do a gig, there are plenty of people around, and there are lots and lots of musicians in my circle. I'm a band leader because I hire different people, so I'm in contact with people, including people that I don't know very well, that just come to me by way of a good reputation.
Yeah.
That I would consider, like, if one of my guys can't make a gig, I have to put somebody in their place, and I do that fairly regularly. We don't play nearly as much as prior to the COVID lockdown, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so for the last 2.5 years, really, even if I want to go out and go to a show or go see somebody play or go sit in with somebody or something, I haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of sticking at home. In fact, I went all of this time since the beginning of that, and I didn't get COVID until last week. And it's
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a real mild
Yeah.
mild
Well,
case.
Yeah, at least you got the watered down version of it.
Yeah. Well, I've had all my
It's starting to
boosters,
weaken.
but when I got it, when I got it, I just quarantined for 5 days. So
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm safe to go out in public again. I'm still kind of being cautious about that, but I am going to play tomorrow night, and I'll see plenty of people, whether they're musicians or just fans that come in.
When I was doing stand-up comedy, I used to love to go out after the show and do breakfast with the comics, and just share comic stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How about you, John Michael? Again, do you have
with
like
the
a Sardi's
guys.
that you go to there after shows?
You know what? It's a tradition that at least on after one of the shows that we all kind of go hang out, have dinner, and just kind of talk about the experiences of like what kind of happened during the run and this and that. Yes, and I cherish those moments for sure. As far as the like when we're playing our little group, we're always I play with a group called Big John Henry, who's me and me. I'm John, and then the other fellow's name is Henry. And
Makes
we started out kind of doing kind of like some oldies, and then it has evolved into like it basically any cover you can kind of think of. We'll do like Big Iron from Marty Robbins
Oh
to
man, I love Big Iron.
like some. We'll do a Metallica song, and then we'll do some Waylon Jennings, and then we'll come off and do some Morgan Wallen. We'll do contemporary country or rock and roll, or we'll do some Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then come off with some Tom Jones. And so we keep everybody on their toes, and we do a variety of stuff also because we're kind of theater driven. Me, myself, and Henry. So we kind of skittish a little bit. We not skittish, but skit ish.
Skit-ish.
Yes. So
I got
like
it.
we when we're performing some of the songs, we'll kind of be in the moment with it and kind of being funny. You gotta, and so that's what I like. Is we have a good time doing that.
All right, Robin, if you had your druthers, what is your dream gig?
Oh wow. I don't know if I even think about that really.
Yeah,
No.
you're just happy doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things to do is just write arrangements for my horn band. You know, when I perform the blues, like I just played a little while ago, I perform by myself. And it's easier to book one person.
I was going to ask you about that. I
than
saw
it is
that
a
on
whole
your
band.
Instagram.
But there are a couple of places where I can play where I can bring in a 6-piece band, and the place pays enough so I can pay compensate these guys properly.
Right.
And so when I write an arrangement, like right now, I'm writing an arrangement for They Can't Take That Away From Me. It's an old standard. The most recent one I did other than that, I think was Back Home in Indiana, Back on the Corner. These aren't well-known songs, but the other one, Stormy Weather. He's like Bessie Smith, and these are songs that a lot of the singers, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, Duke Ellington, they've all done those songs, but this is like almost 100 years ago. And that's what I do. I don't do any pop music. If people ask me to do Johnny Cash, I look at them like, "Are you? What is that?" It's just like I'm not interested. I'm not saying he's not good, or I'm not saying I just
You ring a fire.
Well, the thing is, like, especially on TikTok, it's like being typecast. You do one thing and you do it well, and then nobody will give you a job for doing anything else.
Right.
So
but and there is like, for example, if there is a bad thing about it too, is that if we go full on into covers and we're trying to do one genre, or we're in one area, you always have those give me some of this or give me some of that.
Right.
And we kind of like at first it was kind of tough, but now we're kind of like I have it to where, well, what can't we do? And so it we kind of look at it like, I guess, like Rory doing impressions. The more we can do, but then again, doing so much, you have a tendency to kind of lose what is my natural, where is my natural voice, and what is my
like if you want your natural voice to develop, especially over a period of 20 years, you can't be owned by requests.
Right.
That's true.
But it depends on the kind of act you have too. Like in the case of like Rory, people come up and say, "Okay, Henry Kissinger,"
As far as I can do Henry Kissinger.
It's like, you thrive on that kind of thing. Whereas, I don't know, it's each artist has to decide for themselves what they do. Like if I could do that song and do justice, sometimes I'll stay away from a song. Like a lot of times, for example, I think it's a good idea for a lot of musicians to stay away from Jimi Hendrix and stay away from Charlie Parker, because if you can't do it justice, don't even imitate it.
No.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
and
I've
you
had
make
good,
yourself look bad.
There's Sandy. I
Right.
want to give a shout out to her. She's the one that actually brought Robin into our gravitational pull. So thank you,
Oh,
Sandy,
that's
for
Sandy
bringing
D.
me
Are you
into the
kidding
cosmos.
me?
yeah.
Robin does wonderful lives on TikTok, and again has a huge following, rightfully so. He's just very, very talented man. And I was lucky enough to actually come into one of his lives the other day, and he let me do some voices for 15 minutes.
Oh, that's
And
right.
it was
That
just
was
a treasure.
fun. I like the impromptu nature of that whole thing.
It was just a treasure. I mean, I was just very, very happy to be there, and I ended up getting like 6 or 7 new followers. So
Oh,
thank you for
good.
that.
Good.
It's awesome.
So speaking
So-
of Ricky Ricardo, did you do Ricky Ricardo yet?
Rory or me?
Or
Me.
no, Rory.
Yeah,
Me?
Rory.
You
want me to do Ricky
Ricardo? Lucy, you have explaining to do. I just watched
That's
the,
pretty good.
I just watched the special on those two.
Oh, did
Uh,
you?
yeah.
Oh man, that was so wonderful. It just showed, what their life was like from the beginning on up through, I Love Lucy, and then afterwards, when they
Mhm.
had Desilu Productions. And then it
Yeah.
all
I mean, they
fell
were
apart.
living the dream way back when. It's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I think the first one I asked you to do was Foghorn Leghorn.
That's your favorite. You always ask me to do. I say, boy, you always ask me to do Foghorn, son. I said, the boy's not too bright. He's about as sharp as a bowling ball.
And who was the one that was doing that chicken hawk bit? Was that
I was doing
Foghorn?
the chicken hawk.
No, but what character was that?
I always make the chicken hawk is basically Joe Pesci.
Oh, really? Well, wasn't
I'm
there
a chicken
some-
hawk, and I'm gonna eat you, and then later I'm gonna be a good fella.
Wasn't there a chicken hawk on Foghorn Leghorn or one of
Yeah.
those cartoons?
Yeah, that's what brought us into
Yeah, it
that.
was the
Was
little
because we
one.
were talking about the characters from that. I was doing the dog. Hey kid, you want to find a chicken? Right over there. And we were doing the different characters. The one I didn't do was the weasel.
Wow.
There
was
were
a good
great characters on there. Miss Prissy and her little egg-headed kid. Oh yeah.
Oh,
So-
so.
So we had a lot of fun with
Hey,
that.
Sean, you give him a couple to do.
No,
okay.
no. This show is about you two guys.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Come on now. So what would be your dream gig, John?
Me?
John Michael.
Oh, well, I would say I'm a man of many hats. I would have to do man, I love playing like I like big shows, don't get me wrong, but like playing in a good spot that has a good ton of people, crowd of people, and just a steady something like that is just great for me. Just a real good crowd has always been great. I'm one of the
There's
type.
nothing
I'm
like
the
a
type of
bad
person-
crowd.
No, I mean, like, to be honest, it's always fun. I would say just playing in front of like a real big crowd. Since I'm used to playing small places and stuff like that.
So that kind of segues into my next question a little bit. Have you guys ever been heckled doing what you do?
Never. I honestly, I'm glad to say I haven't been heckled. However,
Very good.
I've had like some drunks, like for example, one of them is last time kept coming up and he kept saying, "I know stroking." hey, I know stroking. And he kept coming around like every 5 minutes. And I guess as he got just one more beer or 2 more beers inside him, he kept telling himself, you know what? This
Did
time
he want to get up there and sing it
I'm
with
gonna
you?
sing
Or?
stroking. And so he kept coming up to me and says, "I know stroking." And I was like, till I said, "Would you like to sing stroking?" And then,
That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was.
He
and then at
wanted
the
to
very
sing.
end, then he says, No, I can't do it. So he never did. He never came up and sang. But yeah, every once in a while. But I mean, I love when people come up and sing. To be honest, But I'm the type of person that when I'm playing, I never really take breaks. If we're playing for 4 hours, I usually take like a 5 or 10 minute break, if that. To be honest, I play straight through, never get off. Because When we started playing years ago, man, we were on fire, and it was those times where we felt like as soon as we took a break, there was maybe a few people that left, or 5 or 6 people, and I was always like, dang, if we would have just kept playing, nobody would have left. And so that's kind of the way I am now. I'm like, as
They
long as
should.
keeping them entertained, they're going to stay there.
Yeah,
And
the Buck Owens, in his last night, his last performance, he wasn't feeling well, and his crowd wanted him to continue to play, and he continued to play. He played a really long set, and then went home and died of a heart attack.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better outro.
Yeah.
Than that,
Yeah, you want to go out with a bang, but I don't know.
I mean, Dick Shawn, a comedian. I don't know if you remember Dick Shawn. He was way back in the day. Did a lot of Mel Brooks stuff, and he was in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. He used to do a bit in his act saying, wouldn't it be crazy if I just died of a heart attack on stage right now? And he would fall on the stage.
Oh, wow.
And again, that's how he went out. He did that bit, fell on the stage. His son was there backstage watching the show. He stayed down for like 3-4 minutes. Everybody was in hysterics because they thought the longer he went on, the longer he stayed down, the funnier it was to them.
Right.
He had a heart attack on stage. That's how he went out. Wow. You couldn't ask for a better outro than that, being a performer.
Yeah.
Wow.
But of course, if I keep saying, hey, there's a wolf over here.
So Robin,
there.
have you ever had a request other than Johnny Cash that made you just really scratch your head?
Well, when on TikTok, for example, when people ask me to play Slipknot or Montrose, I don't know if they're joking around. I assume they're joking around. Like, I'm thinking, you listen to me play the blues, and like,
oh man,
I don't know if they're serious.
I mean, maybe they want you to do like how Johnny Cash did his renditions of all those other metal bands.
Yeah. And I started thinking of it that way because
I want to hear a jazz version of Creep.
Yeah, and I started, if I don't know. I mean, sometimes it really throws a performance. Like if they specialize in a certain thing, and somebody asks them to do something else. Like, I ask them, do you go to a Waylon Jennings concert and ask them to play Montrose? I mean,
yeah.
Or you ask them to play Johnny Cash even, it's like,
yeah.
How about respecting the artist for what they do?
There you go.
And like a lot of artists have played, I'm 72 years old. So I've been doing this for a really long time. And I don't expect people to see. A lot of times they see a person with a guitar and they go, oh, do you do any Beatles? Without really putting 2 and 2 together. They haven't listened long enough to realize, well, I don't think this guy's a Beatles dude, And so you get trapped into this thing of having to explain. I remember one time I joked.
See the John Lennon hat, I'm sorry.
I remember one time I joked to go with a guy and says, and I definitely don't go do Grateful Dead. And a guy goes in well, what's wrong with the Grateful Dead? And I'm going, see, now I'm already trapped.
That's my kind of worm.
I don't, it's not that I hate the Grateful. In fact, I got some of their records that are 60 years old from when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
And like, fuck, the original copies full of scratches.
Here you go, Robin. Here's your first acting lesson. Yeah. As soon as they do that, you just say, no hablo inglés.
Yeah, right.
So what's up next for you guys? What are you doing in the near future?
Oh, I am currently casted as Bottom in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh.
And we're doing that here at Theater Victoria, and that's going to be coming out from the 16th through the 19th here in Victoria, Texas. Whereas you can see me make an ass of myself. If you're not familiar with A Midsummer Night's Dream.
I think we got a picture of that.
Oh, actually, that was one of the reasons why I wanted the part is because
the donkey.
I got to play Donkey in Shrek, which was probably one of my favorite roles. And I chose to go full prosthetic face.
There you go.
For the kids.
Yeah.
and I thought and then I tried to be more true to the character.
And I saw
And
that
then
you played the cook in Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, I
recently.
played Chef Louis,
Yeah.
and that was a lot of fun. And let's see. I also played Horse T. Simmons in The Full Monty. So I was like, I was a donkey and I was horse, and now I can be an ass again.
You're getting stereotyped.
So
Stop
I
that.
was like,
Don't
I've
let them
been,
do that
I've
to
been,
you.
been so many quadrupeds. I think it's just kind of no, but not only that, but I haven't done Shakespeare since college, and
Mhm.
I've just been seriously long. I've been doing comedies and musicals for so long. It's just
That one's a fun
you
one.
can only stretch your acting limbs so far in those, whereas but Shakespeare is hey, it was written so long ago. It's all pretty much up to interpretation,
Yeah.
and so my interpretation of it is it's a lot different from what people are normally used to, and if you would like to come watch it, please come to Victoria, Texas. You can go to theatervictoria.org and check out our season and come watch it. Come down. If you do come down and you stay in a hotel, please make sure that you let us know because we can get funded by the city. Let's see. I'm also doing a fundraiser for the symphony this Thursday.
Yep.
And again, it's mostly me fundraisers and volunteering. Got a Halloween show for the elderly at the Bethany Senior Retirement Center. Hopefully, I don't scare them too much.
I hope not.
I'm going to be very, very easy with the scares. No, it's just going to be some fun music. But yeah, it's just some theater and just some acting, and then
And
some.
Robin, you'll be on TikTok doing your lives.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the near future?
Well, tomorrow night I'm playing at a just a local bar, really.
Mhm.
Great, neat place though. It's called the Blind Lady Ale House.
And where's that at?
It's in the Normal Heights section of San Diego.
Mhm.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Blind Lady Ale House abbreviates as blah, and that's what they call it. That's what they put on their
Sweet.
whatever inside, and so that's really nice. And then I have I'm going to play for the first time, either a 5 or 6 piece, I can't remember now, but at a dim sum restaurant in Mira Mesa. One of the
Wow.
drummers that I work with on and off recommended me to the person that books it, and he took right to me and he says, "Well, let's give you a night. Let's book you in here." And then, other than that, I have another gig at Panama 66. It's all really restaurants. About 3 or 4 times a year. Oh, actually, I'm going to do a show in December. It's called the 27 Club. And what the 27 Club is a musical tribute to a lot of the musicians, well-known musicians that passed away when they were 27, which would be
Yeah.
Robert
Okay.
Johnson, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Jim
Yeah.
Morrison. So they get an entertainer to either imitate that person or at least play the music of that person and do it really well. I get to open the show because I'm the first on the list. Robert Johnson recorded back in the late 30s, early 40s. So, and I don't imitate Robert Johnson, but I do a couple of his songs and then explain about what the country blues is as opposed to city blues, and make it almost documentary and educational. And it always goes by I play for about 20 minutes and talk, and then the rest of the show goes on. So I like doing the first segment because then I'm done. I sit and watch everybody else go through there. My friend Whitney Shea does Amy Winehouse, and there's a young guy that does Jimi Hendrix. In fact, one of the guys that does Jimi Hendrix is a Jimi Hendrix lookalike, and he dresses full regalia and really pulls it off pretty good. There's a woman that does Janis Joplin, and it's set almost like in anyway, it's set up like a play. It's set up like the stage is set like a living room in
Like a
somebody's
musical review. Cool.
and the guy of a couple comes in. They're supposed to be living in Greenwich Village or someplace in a neighborhood in New York. And the guy comes in all out of breath and he's all excited. And the girl's going, "What's with you?" And he goes, "Man, I was just at a bar and I just met all these famous musicians." And she's going, "Yeah, right, dude." You know, and then the story evolves and then knock on the, well, I invited some of them over. I hope you don't mind. Next thing, knock on the door. It's Janis Joplin. Knock on the door. It's Jimmy. And they play, each one plays 3 or 4 songs. So
Cool.
that's coming up. But we've done that show about, I don't know, about 6 times. We did it in Nevada at one of the casinos, and mostly in San Diego or in the neighboring theaters, you know. So that's always been a fun show.
I'm coming to San Diego soon, so I'm gonna come visit you.
Oh, please do. You know, you'll know how to. It's you can. Well,
Get pictures.
Yeah, but I'll give you my contact info if you want to connect with me somehow.
Yeah, Robin, for sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I noticed that a lot of our people are in Atlanta, and I got to stay there for a while. I didn't get to see anybody from the network, but I do quite a bit of traveling. We just came back from Miami.
Okay.
And we were over there in South Beach, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say just be careful with them drinks. Just be careful with them drinks over there in South Beach. I think one of them was called Call an Uber, and we did. We called an Uber.
Really?
Right.
When you say watch your drink because they're strong or because
They're strong? They're pretty strong down there.
Yeah.
Robin, can we get you to play us out with a song?
Yeah, sure can.
Hey, Robin, it's a pleasure to meet you, brother.
It's great to meet you, John. Great pleasure. Yeah. Okay, give me a minute while I put my picky wikis on.
All right.
And
I love it when he slides.
oh, well, this one's going to be a non-slide. This one's going to be a
It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be.
Non-slider. I thought I'd do something kind of goofy. Let's see if I got my capo over here. Yes. If I don't put this thing on here, the song is so low that I can't sing it. I remember one time maybe it was 20 years ago, I wrote this song called If I Was a Truck. And I was in a band at the time that I was playing steel guitar in like a kind of a country band that did what they call truck driver music, you know, like Waylon Jennings and all of that kind of stuff. And like 70s outlaw country kind of a band.
Highway music.
Yeah, and it mixed in with Buck Owens and what's that other guy,
Marty Robbins.
No, I was thinking the father of our country. What's the guy's name? Hank Williams.
Hank Williams.
And so we did all of that stuff. And one of the guys in the band was walking around going, I'm a truck, just being goofy, you know. And somehow that inspired a bunch of lyrics that are nonsensical lyrics. But I had just been heartbroken by not being, what would you call unrequited love, so to speak. So my brain was like all scrambled and twisted. And just like, it was one of those songs where just anything came out, whether it made sense or not. So this is If I Was a Truck. If I was a truck, I'd eat me no nut. If I was a buck, I'd eat me some hay. If I was a turkey butt, I'd eat me a turkey butt pellet. If I could just I'd be with you today. Crazy red hair and a smiling face. I tried to go there, it was a wrong place. If I could only hold on to a dream that was true, I wouldn't be here picking on this old bass. could be thinking, because I'm a guitar picker, that I got a woman as tall as a day is long. If I could only hold on to a dream that was true, wouldn't be here picking on this old song. If I was a dog and my name was Alice, I could sit on the front porch and watch the cars and trucks on the street. If I could only see black and white, I'd be happy for my life. Look for a dog boy who'd be nice to me. If I was a truck, I'd eat me donut. If I was a truck, I'd eat me some hay. If I was a turkey butt, I'd eat me a turkey butt pellet. And if I could just be with you today. If I could just be with you today. If I could just be with you today.
Thank you so much, Robin.
Sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for being on the show. I think we lost John Michael, but it was so nice having him on the show. I'm glad you two guys got to meet each other. Hopefully he'll come out to San Diego. I want to come out to San Diego. I want to meet Sandy. I want to meet you. Who knows? Love to get out there, and I'd like to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I joked about it at the beginning of the show, but I really would like to go do that once in my life.
Get here plenty early and have reservations.
Yeah, indeed.
I think the locals don't even go close to it anymore.
Yeah.
Although
it probably gets pretty geeky.
Well, it's just so crowded, you know.
Yeah.
But actually, now that I think of it, this last time, which was just in the summer, I think, I was performing really about a couple of blocks from it, thinking that I wasn't going to be able to get a parking space anywhere. And I showed up to the gig, like ridiculously early, because I got to get a good parking space. If you got a car full of band equipment,
yeah,
you can't just park anywhere.
Yeah, you can't park 4 blocks away.
Yeah, right. So actually, I scored that day. But there'll be people walking around the place where I was playing in all their costumes and stuff. It's fun. Yeah, like Chewbacca came up to the stage and said hello. And different, you know.
What was that request again?
That's good.
So good to see you, man. I'll see you around TikTok, I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah.
You take care, sir. You have a great night. And well, actually, you're in the middle of the afternoon now.
It's 4 in the afternoon right now. Got a couple hours of daylight still.
So, and I'm guessing John Michael's got a show to do, so that's probably why he bolted.
Right. Okay.
So again, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, sir. Okay.
Renee.
Bye, everybody.
I'm here. Wonderful show. Thank you, everybody,
for
coming out. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, John Michael. Yeah, he left, but he's very busy, so we thank him for being here. We love John Michael and we love Robin.
He looked like he was behind stage, so he probably had a show to do.
Yeah, he was actually at the theater. I was so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
So again, so great to have you two on the show. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right. Good night, everybody.